Hello and welcome back to another episode of Soul Said So. I am your lovely host, the Mystic Mover, where on Soul Said So we help you get out of your mind and back into your soul. So hello to all my ambitious people out there. How are y'all doing? I am learning so much about myself. I'm excited. I am really basking in these moments because I've been on this journey with myself for a very long time, and I'm finally starting to understand just different layers of myself. And I'm learning that this journey, this process, that is what it's all about. There are going to be times where life just starts to unfold for you in so many different ways. But first and foremost, going into it, we talked a little bit. Well, I've been talking for the past few months about my job search, and I just wanted to give you guys an update that I did land a role. And while I landed this role, y'all, I'm still sitting up here like, okay, landing this role not only showed me things about myself, but I also got a lot of reflection time that I've been spending lately, just looking at my previous journey, the lessons that I've learned, and I'm writing these things down and I'm implementing all of the things that I've learned because how I feel right now and how I'm moving forward, I don't know. I feel stronger. And it's crazy because I'm coming out of the weakest season of my life. Let me tell you something. That last season of not being able to secure financial stability, it rocked my world. And it brought up so many different emotions for me. One, because I've been desiring something specific in my life for so long, and I thought it would look this way, I thought it would look that way. There were certain moments where things would walk into my life where I'm like, okay, this is it, and it wasn't what I thought it would be. And then sometimes, I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes my own mental programming and my conditioning and the way that I was perceiving things in my life allowed me to trick my own self out of something that was meant to actually condition me for some of the things that I said that I wanted. So, in today's episode, I am focusing really hard on who you have to become to hold a lot of the desires that you have for yourself in your life. Now, I am a Pisces and I have romanticized all of my life. Everything that I desired and I wanted for myself, it hit that visionary space first, where I'm seeing myself doing the thing, I'm feeling it, I'm connecting with it, I'm knowing that like this is something that's possible for me. And just completely escaping, Pisces, we escape a little bit, but completely escaping off into that imagination. And it has taught me so much about how things actually show up in our realities, right? So, from a small child, I've always just had these very, very big visions. What I'm now understanding in this process, in this place of my life, is you can have a vision, you can hold that vision, you can see it clearly, you can do all of those things, but until you have that belief on the inside of yourself, not the belief that I know that something is possible for me, but the belief that I know that this is possible, so I'm going to take certain actions. What I noticed about myself is I spend a lot of time thinking, dreaming, visualizing, and seeing certain things. And sometimes I have found myself being stuck on how to get out of that imaginary space, not saying imaginary as in anything that's fake, but imaginary in the place of I can see it in my head. And now I'm feeling it very strong in my body that it's time to bring it into like a tangible resource, something that I can touch, I can hold, I can feel. And all the years of my life, it has always been something that I could imagine, I could dream, I could feel, I could almost smell it and feel it because I'm visualizing it so much. Now, this season of my life is asking me, who do you have to become to be able to bring this into fruition? And if I'm being honest, a lot of me visualizing all of these years of my life has really been about me battling internally with myself on if I could really have this, if this could be something that, you know, it's really possible for me. And we think that a lot of times when we're spending time thinking about the things that we desire and that we want, that we automatically know that it's possible. But it's a different thing when those possibilities show up to your doorstep and they start demanding action from you, or they start demanding you to be the person. Like, yeah. So what I'm asking in this episode is, who do you have to become? Now, I'm simply asking you this because I was always clear about what I wanted, who I felt that I was supposed to be. What I was not clear on was who I had to become in order to align with that reality. And the more that I'm really starting to sit with myself, and I ain't gonna lie to you, baby, that last season of my life, it drugged me by every hair that was on my head, okay, to the point where now I'm looking at myself and I'm like, okay, you have got to do more than just see this in your brain. And you got to start understanding how to identify as this person on a day-to-day basis. Now, one thing that prevented me from identifying as the thing that I knew that I could be was, one, my nervous system. Anytime that it was time for me to level up, my body would instantly feel it. And because my body could feel it, it would go to my mind and I would either panic or delay or procrastinate or do all of these different things to try to cope, to try to get myself to like calm down because I feel overwhelmed. And so when you're looking at your life and you're looking at what you desire for yourself and how you see yourself showing up in the world, there is going to be a certain level of resistance at the cellular level that then knocks on your mental, that causes you to start to question, to wonder if you're even capable, if you're even able to change your situation. Now, you absolutely can always change your situation. Always, always. And I say this because I have been in some situations, baby, where I'm like, I'm realizing that I done messed up. I done made some bad decisions. I done made some bad choices. How do we revert this? How do I go back and change this? And every single time I can tell you in my life, I have been able to quickly pivot. Not always quickly, but I've been able to pivot from what seems like could have been the worst decisions that I've made, or not careful decisions, or just being out of alignment with what I thought I would be, or who I thought I would be, or what I thought I should be. All that. Your focus right now is getting clear on what it is that you want for yourself. If you don't have nothing else, you need to be clear on what you want for yourself. For me, that was never a problem. I always knew what I wanted. I always had this big dreams, big thoughts. Like I wanted things to be big. However, what I did not take into account is in order for you to actually live on that or live in that space or be that person, who do you have to become? And becoming for me meant letting go of a lot of different things. That could be physical things, that could be people that's in your life. Letting go for me also meant emotionally the things that I could not see, the things that I did not know that I was still in agreement with. Old beliefs, the ways that I'm speaking to myself, the things down to the things that I allowed myself. Like I could see a big opportunity, but because I'm like, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to approach this, I don't know what to do, that I had to stop letting fear operate in me. If you're going to be going after what you actually desire, there is going to be fear. It's inevitable. And once you recognize that and understand that, just because fear arises against something that I truly desire does not mean that I'm unworthy or I'm not meant for or I can't hold it. That ain't always what that means. Sometimes you just gotta grow into things. And in this phase and in this season of my life, I am allowing myself to grow. What does that look like for me? What does that feel like for me? How can I manage this? How can I still take small steps where I'm not overpowered, but I still feel in alignment with what I'm going after without allowing it to fully consume me to the point where I back down or I quit or I start to count myself out? So right now in my life, where I'm at, I'm really focused on who do I have to become. First and foremost, what I started doing was looking at who I actually was. How am I actively thinking about where I actually am? I started to realize that I was shame about a lot of different things. I started to look at the disappointment, the anger, the resentment. I started looking at all of these different areas of my life. And I wanted to, my goal was to figure out what's really going on. What's true? What's not true? What is something that I've carried into this space with me that was not supposed to come with me? Or how am I looking at it? Am I looking at it as something that's bad when it is actually something that I just have not unpacked enough to be able to get to the bottom of, to be able to understand that this is just something that can be reshaped. It can be given a new perspective. It can be given new light so that I can look at it completely differently than I previously have. What are my habits? What am I consistently doing on a daily basis? And does that equal up to the person who I said that I want to be? Does this equal up to um, the vision board that I have? Y'all, let me tell you something. I will get on TikTok and scroll my life away. Next thing I know, it's 2-3 hours. That was the first thing I cut off. You, as as difficult as it may be to disconnect yourself, distractions are going to be the death of you. Within those distractions, for me personally, came things like comparison, comparing yourself. And that comparison can either make you feel less than about yourself or it can make you feel angry. Either way it go, that is something that you're carrying while trying to walk towards something that you desire that does not serve you. I'm not telling you not to get on your social media platforms and do all that. I'm saying in the least bit, you have to make sure that your focus is completely on what has to shift within you. And for me, doom scrolling was not shifting anything. If anything, it was just only making me upset and making me angry and making me get jump into fear more. Being afraid that I have not achieved what I said I was going to achieve. I haven't made it in certain places. Seeing people who started when they with me and how they have um elevated in such ways. But it's never really about that. What it's really and truly about is understanding and being inspired about what is actually possible for you. However, in the same way that you are finding what is possible for you, you also have to understand that there are certain responsibilities, there are certain obligations and requirements for you to be able to also line up to a certain manifestation that you are requiring in your life. Another big thing that I learned about this season is that with every day, I'm building an energy to see the change. I didn't know how impatient I was. I want to see it and I want to see it instantly. I want to hurry up. Bring me my food. When I come to the restaurant, I don't want to wait all day. Ma'am, I just ordered my drink. Please bring my drink. I just ordered my food. Please. Like, I want things to happen like fast. Like, I'm the only person on the earth. And that's just me being completely honest. But that is also something that was not going to help me bring certain things in my life, because that's not how you change a reality. You change a reality by building upon energy, meaning every day. If you look at the construction of a home, I don't know the actual timeline, but I do know that if somebody told me that they could build my house in 3 days, that I would be questioning the type of home that I would be getting. Well, how long is this going to last? What is really the foundation of this home? Is there going to be like, you wonder. And so as I'm stepping back and I'm looking at my own life and I'm starting to understand a lot of things about myself, I have to focus on who I have to become. I have to change some of my habits. I have to change some of my language. I have to change some of my environments. I have to change how I'm actively thinking about where I actually am. There is so much that we actually could be working on ourselves in that in between time of actually changing and bringing something into your life, that it is crazy. And I know I have been guilty of only focusing on when it's going to come, how it's going to come. Is this the opportunity? Is it now? Is it now? Instead of always reverting that energy back into myself, making sure that I have the capacity to hold what is about to drop into my lap. You want to be a boss, you want to be a CEO, you can't wait until boss and CEO come and knock on your door to start trying to boss and CEO, because it's going to drain you. Do you know what that looks like? Do you know whatever it is that you're desiring in your life? Do you know what it looks like to actually have that operating in your life on a day-to-day basis? And are you ready for it? If you're not ready for it, that also means you're not in alignment for it. So you got to think about your life. You got to think about your desires. You got to think about who you are, what you've been through, what has brought you to this point, and how you are already operating in the world. What needs to change? And you got to think deep. You got to think deep. Because if the lot has to change, that means you got homework every single day and you don't have time to be focusing on when it's going to come, how it's going to happen, who going to bring. You don't have time to be worried about that. You really have homework every day. You're in the gym conditioning yourself for the things that you said that you want. If I look back to my job search when I was job searching, oh, baby, I was ready to get a job. I'm ready for y'all to come through here and hire me. Like, I'm ready to do the job. However, I had to also look at Because I'm getting interviews. I was getting interviews. I was getting all these different things. What I started shifting my focus from on not having a job is becoming a person of value so that people would see that. I all the time I was working on how I'm going to be doing my pitches and my job interviews. How I'm going to make sure that I'm selling myself appropriately. What jobs do I actually want? What are they doing? Like, I had started to release just the attachment that I had. And even, for me, having a job, that's for the financial stability, boo. Because I have bigger goals and I have bigger dreams. But as I'm in this space now, I'm always thinking about who do I have to be able to hold the dreams that I have for myself. And I started like last week writing all that down. And I'm going to read it every single day. I've been doing good so far. I'm so proud of myself. I'm reading it every single day as a reminder. Practice makes perfect. I got to keep reading who it is that I said that I'm going to be so that I can make sure that every day I'm showing up as this person. Because every day's not going to be a good day. Some days you're going to have days that completely drain you. They completely deplete you. I got to have an action plan for the days it's going to deplete me, because for some of the dreams and goals that I have, it's a given that you're going to be depleted because you're going to be the one pushing a lot of the work. So I don't want to keep y'all too long. I do want you to be reflecting and focusing on who it is that you have to become to hold the things that you say that you want. Are you ready? Because it's coming. You might as well get ready anyway. So until next week, y'all, focus on what you can control. And anything else that you can control, guess what? It's going to work itself out. But until the next time, I do love you, and I will see you next Wednesday.